advantage we have. We have the right people, we have everything there now, we have the research infrastructure. I think all we need is the will to do something, and I think that's where we succeeded in this case.
That's great to know, and congratulations to the entire pharmaceutical team for coming up with a great solution for those who have the problem of presbyopia. You spoke about the clinical trials and, of course, the patch, the COVID patch that came in between. So I'm going to ask Dr. Barclays, so share with us how you were involved in this entire research process for Presview. And something that you like to talk to us about, the clinical trials, especially for, the ophthalmology segment. If you could elaborate on that.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, phase 3 clinical trials is the centerpiece for the proof of evidence for clinical efficacy, and as you know, for any new drug which is being brought for the first time in India, it will require a rigorous clinical trial. These are called phase 3 trials, so this is the last phase before market introduction. And Entod did a full-fledged phase 3 trial in about 234 subjects, patients, at about 15 different eye hospitals spanning many of the states, and with a single protocol. And this is a trial that is called a randomized control trial, because placebo is the control here. As you know, placebo is the inert medication. So these 234 patients at 15 different ophthalmic clinics, they put these eye drops, they were split into two groups. One group receiving the active drug, which is the Presview, and the other group receiving placebo, which was in this case vehicle, that means all the other ingredients other than the active ingredient to match the look and feel. And it is called double blind, so that even the patient as well as the doctors do not know what they are receiving. Only then there can be a completely objective assessment of the efficacy. At the end of 30 days, they were measured with what is called as a Snellen's chart for close reading, and this was done not in the bright light but in a poor light. And it was seen that the patients who received Presview, they had almost significantly more number of patients who could read 3 more lines on the chart. So reading 3 more lines on that chart was considered to be the primary endpoint. So it was significantly met, and statistical analysis is conducted normally, which is very, very rigorous, and on that it passed the test. They also looked at intermediate vision. For example, when you are looking at the screen, it is a near vision. When you are looking at a laptop or a desktop, then you are looking at that's an intermediate vision. So even the intermediate vision was tested at the end of 30 days, and the patient receiving Presview found to be significantly better than those receiving placebo. In terms of side effects, there were very few, less than 3% most of them. So about 3% patients got eye irritation, about 2.5% got redness of the eyes or a little bit of blurring, but that is normally expected, and as a result, no single severe side effect or none of the patients discontinued from the therapy. So based on that, Drug Control of India, and there is an expert committee which is formed of ophthalmologists, they looked at the data and approved the product. We are happy that this product will now be available for Indian population.
This is great. Dr. Aditya, will you be prescribing it for your patients? Because, I'm sure patients come to you with this issue often, because, starting 40s, this problem is seen in many people. There are few people who go for surgeries, but most people would ideally like to avoid it. What would you say? I mean, what kind of reception are you anticipating for something like this?
Yeah, so, I think one thing is for sure, we all want to grow old. So I see a lot of people here who will be using it in a few years. That's the reality. So what this basically does is it makes life easier. And as we know in today's day and age, it's all about customization of your medicines. It's not going to be just the blanket treatment that everybody gets the same. It's going to be very customized to every patient, their need. So this is a game changer there. So once again, kudos to Nikhil and Team Entod for making this happen, because we lacked it in India, we didn't have this product, and now it's going to really change the face of it. So what pilocarpine has been there for a really long time for glaucoma treatment. So it's been tried and tested. It's one of the drugs which has been there for ages. Like I'm talking about since maybe 100 years or so. So a diluted form, a form which is now going to be used for presbyopia, is actually a very genius effort at making presbyopia